Hey guys and welcome to Resilient Ratty. My name is Ratik Datta, and before I jump into the contents of this video, I just want to wish you a very happy Diwali. For those of you who don't know, Diwali is a festival celebrated by Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, and Sikhs all around the world, and it really is one of the biggest festivals that we celebrate. So it's been a in India, it's again one of the biggest festivals we do celebrate as well. So it's been a very the atmosphere has been electric. It's very joyous here in India at the moment, and it's been a few days since Diwali. Today is actually Bhai Dooj. Bhai Dooj once again celebrates the relationship between a brother and a sister, which is something that is very near and dear to my heart because I'm very close to my sister. So it need not be said that this is one of my favorite times of the entire year. So right off the bat, as the title of the video suggests, I'm going to be talking about whether I personally feel that foreign education is worth it. Just to give a little bit of a background about myself, I am from Mumbai, India. I did my master's in marketing from Purdue University in the US, and I'm currently working at Seed Global Education as an assistant manager of marketing operations. So this role that I'm currently doing at Seed was preceded by my master's at Purdue. The program itself was for 10 months. So I spent a year at Purdue in the US. And before I get into the details of what I personally feel, I think it's very important to understand that this the value of foreign education is very subjective. It's going to differ from person to person because everyone's experiences are but obviously different. All of our experiences are different. So obviously going to a foreign land will have a very different impact on person X versus person Y. So it's very important to remember that this is my personal opinion. Of course, it's very important for you to be doing your research and try and understand whether going abroad is truly the correct choice for you or not. But long story short, if I have to say, if I have to quickly answer whether going abroad has been worth it for me, I would say a resounding yes, and I'm going to expound on the reasons in a bit. I don't want this to seem like I'm burnishing the image of foreign universities. I do think there's a lot of value to be derived from Indian universities and from the universities of your home country as well. But it just going abroad gives you a different perspective, which I personally don't think a university in India would be able to provide. While the education itself is very high quality, top class, there are certain things that a foreign education gives you that an Indian education just cannot. I'm going to be talking about the three reasons. I'm just going to be giving three reasons for why am completely sold on the idea of going abroad for foreign education. So the first reason has to be the melting pot of cultures. I went to the US, which is the number one destination in the world for foreign students. I met people from all over the world. I was exposed to different languages, different perspectives, different cultures, and I thought that that was the highlight of my experience in the US, which is saying a lot because my time in the US was truly indelible. So I do think that Indian universities, India in itself, so if you take an example of say India and Pakistan, there is a lot of heterogeneity when it comes to the different communities that live in these nations. But at the end of the day, in terms of nationality, we are a very homogeneous we are very homogeneous countries in the sense that in India you are mostly going to be exposed to people from India, while again, like I said, there's a lot of diversity within Indian communities. I do think that going to a country like the US, the very essence of US is such that you find people from all over the world even working there. So you but naturally find people studying there from all over the world as well. And I think that that in itself, I'm not even going to delve into the other two reasons. This in itself makes it worth it for me personally. Just to buttress my argument, I will talk about the different nationality of people that I was exposed to. A few of them. I was exposed to Pakistanis. I was exposed to Bangladeshis. I was exposed to people from China, from Taiwan, from Hong Kong, from Colombia, from Poland, and that's just to name a few which I can remember from the top of my head. You will definitely, when people say that the US is a melting pot of cultures, it truly is. And I'm not just talking about the US. Even if you were to look at Europe, a place like London is again a melting pot of cultures. You will find people from all over Europe, all over the world there as well. This is not really a surreptitious fact. It's pretty well known, and I think that having that foreign education with people from different perspectives is going to help you, even if you do decide to go back to your home country. Because at the end of the day, even if you do decide to go back to your home country, the reality is such, for better or for worse, depending on how you think about it. I think very favorably about it, but the world is getting smaller with globalization, and given that that's the case, the people we interact with, even though we may physically be in one country, there is a lot of scope for interaction with people from all over the world. So if you get exposed to these people in your masters, for example, in your university, it really helps a lot in that regard as well, in my opinion. The second reason I personally think makes foreign education worth it is the fact that you get independence. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, if you are in your home country and you're moving to another city to uh, study or work, that does give you a sense of independence as well, a degree of independence as well. But I still wouldn't really I wouldn't call it comparable to actually living abroad, living in a country which is completely alien to you, for example, because at the end of the day, even if you're in a different city in the same country, you still know how the country operates. You know the economics of the country, you know the politics of the country, you understand the culture and the traditions that are followed in the country. So it is, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a breeze to get accustomed to a different city, but it's a lot easier as compared to going abroad. So I think it's very important. I've made an entire video on why you should leave home. You can check that out on the top right hand side of the screen here. I think it's very important for everyone to leave their nest, leave their comfort zones in order to truly make full usage of their potential. That's not to say that people who don't go abroad are not able to succeed, but I just think that having that sense of independence gives you the kind of self growth and discovery that living in your hometown just is not going to be able to. Once again, it kind of adds on to the previous point. You get to meet a lot of people from all over the world, from different countries, people speaking different languages, having different mindsets, having different set of beliefs. And I think that that is very important, once again, for a globalized world. It's the smallest of things that make a difference. For example, the process of opening up a bank account in your country, home country, versus the country that you're going to study. You can similarly, the process of actually setting up a SIM card in the new country versus your home country. These are small things which make you more flexible, make you more willing to adapt to change, and I think that those are critical skill sets and qualities that one needs in a rapidly growing world which is being disrupted by a lot of things, including technology. So it's very important to be flexible, and staying abroad gives you that flexibility, in my opinion, something which just cannot be replaced by living within your home country. My final reason as to why I think foreign education is worth it is for the simple reason that, okay, this is again something which is very subjective. It kind of depends on the quality of education that your home country is offering at the moment. So I think, of course, if you were to look at the US, for example, it's home to some of the best universities in the world. No matter what metric you're looking at, no matter what rankings you're looking at, it's one of the best. It's home to some of the best universities in the world, and that is something which, of course, there will be some excellent universities in your home country as well. There is no doubt about that. But if you were to look at it from a global perspective, studying at one of the best universities in your home country versus studying at one of the best universities in the world, there is a gap which exists between the two. And again, once again, I'm not trying to say that if you were to complete your entire education in your home country, you wouldn't be successful or you couldn't move abroad. This is not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm not trying to create that sort of a narrative. All that I'm trying to say is that the transition becomes a lot easier if you've done your education abroad. We're getting work in that country becomes a lot easier as well, comparatively. So I do personally think that, and of course, if you're fortunate enough to have some excellent universities, maybe your home country is already home to some of the best universities in the world, and in that case, maybe this is not as pertinent to you as it may be for someone else whose home country is not actually is still on the path of development and perhaps does not have the sort of world-class universities at this moment. So if that is the case for you, I do personally think that you should not be limiting your potential. You should not be confining your potential to the boundaries of your home country. There's a whole world out there. Like my aunt, my Masi, which is my mom's sister, she likes to say that the world is your oyster, and that's what I personally believe as well. If you have the drive and the motivation to make it globally, I do think that there is a lot of scope for that if you were to pursue foreign education. And again, like I said, it depends on where your home country is, it depends on a lot of factors. But for me personally, India, if I have to talk about me personally, India is home to, I'm in the business field, and India is home to some of the top MBA institutes, even in the world, because there are institutes like Indian School of Business and the IIMs, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow. These are some of the top ranked universities in the world. And so I did have the option of actually trying to take an admit over there, but then the first two reasons that I spoke about in this video kind of trumped the idea of pursuing further education at a world-class university in my home country. So again, I was very fortunate to have world-class universities in my country, home country in the first place. But once again, it's very important to remember that not everyone may be that fortunate. So keeping that in mind, the quality of education is very important. I do think that foreign education could help you just that bit more to stand out from the crowd. So that's about it, guys. Not a lot of rocket science involved here. If you were to think about it, even on your own, you might have been able to come up with reasons. But it's always better to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? You always feel better when you're hearing the same things that you've already thought about from someone else who's experienced what you want to experience. So yes, I can definitely vouch for it. Foreign education is worth its weight in gold for me personally. I would love to know what you guys think about this. You can leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, keeping in mind that this is a global audience, hopefully. I do want you to mention which country you're from so that people can get an understanding of what your take on foreign education is like. So do leave that in the comment section below as well with your views on foreign education. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, there are a lot of other elements involved in foreign education. Since I've gone to the US, I can make more videos about whether I feel that foreign education in the US specifically is worth it, considering all of the considering all the factors that are at play, especially in recent times. I could make a video on that if you'd like. So, for example, the job market in the US is not at its best right now. So, given that that's the case, do I really think that foreign education in the US is worth it? There are certain vagaries that are involved in foreign education in general. But even if you were to adjust or account for those vagaries, in my personal opinion, I think the experience itself trumps everything else. And with enough patience, I do believe that you could land a job in your country of study. I personally, like, if you've been following this channel, I came back to India because of personal reasons. But I do believe that if I were to stay in the US for a sufficient amount of time, I would be able to get a job. And again, I have actually spoken about this at length in different videos that you definitely, if you are in the US and looking for a job right now, I would highly recommend continuing doing that, because getting that job experience in the US is truly the cherry on top, which a lot of people are looking for. I was personally okay with the idea of coming back. I wanted to come back because of personal reasons. But if you are not in the same boat as me, I would definitely recommend trying to look for a job in the US for as long as you can. And if you're patient enough, I do believe that a job will come by. I've had a lot of my Purdue batchmates get jobs in the past few weeks. The US Fed interest rates have cut as well. So I do believe that better days are coming. It's just a matter of patience at this point. So just another request from my side, that in case you're contemplating going back to your home country, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I do believe that if it's a matter of patience, I would hang in there and get that experience and then go back. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. I have unfortunately digressed once again. So I would like to thank you for sticking around, and let me know what kind of videos you would like me to make. I am this channel talks about my professional, academic, and personal experiences. Feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me on Instagram, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, you can reach out to me on YouTube itself, the comment section. In case you're shy to do that, LinkedIn and Instagram is always an option. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I think that my final verdict is: a foreign education worth it? Absolutely. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Until next time, see you. Happy Diwali once again, and wishing you a happy new year. Thank you for watching. See you again. Modern land will have very different will have a very different